Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network show. In this episode, I want to talk to you guys about the three energies of success, what they are, why they're important, and why one of them is really the foundational piece. So welcome to this week's episode. You know, there's a lot going on in the world today, a lot going on in the markets today. And one of the things that I'm finding in my conversations with financial advisors, both in my personal work, our Tribe and Magellan Network, and then our mastermind members, is really making sure that we're cultivating these three energies. So let me kind of give you the three first, and then let's have a little definition of each one. So the three energies are as follows. There's going to be what we call physical energy, mental energy, and emotional energy. So physical energy sounds pretty, pretty basic, right? Which is, physical fitness, vibrancy, if you will, elements like that, which we'll break down in a moment. So we've got the physical piece. Mental is your ability to focus, your ability to solve problems, right? From that perspective, right? Your ability to lead. And then emotional, mastering your own emotional states, being able to communicate and influence your clients, your team, your family, your friends, whoever. We as advisors, you are in the influence business. Now, you may never thought of it that way, but you truly are if you think about how you must interact with the people around you, colleagues, team members, and then your clients, right, going forward. So let's talk about each one and kind of break them down and kind of how to nurture each one. So I think it's like a little, very, very mini masterclass. So let's talk about physical energy first, because I know we do audio and video here, so I want you to picture a pyramid, right? And the base of the pyramid, so the pyramid is divided into three sections basically. The base of the pyramid, i.e. which is the largest, which is the foundation, that is your physical energy, okay? Physical energy. Why does that matter? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the physical energy, you're not going to have the mental energy, and you're not going to have the emotional energy. And we've all had this situation. So look, whether you caught a cold or a bug or something like that, or you had a late night out in the town, if you all know what I mean, the next day you just don't have it. I mean, you can kind of struggle through it, you can fake it, you can kind of get it, but you're not at your best. In my experiences of 28 years now doing what I do, I can sit there and say to you with absolute certainty, and I can back it up with experiences, that getting another designation is not going to guarantee you that you're going to increase your top or bottom line. Getting the next silver bullet marketing program, I can guarantee you is not going to guarantee you improving your top or bottom line, right? And I can go so on and so on and so on. And I think a lot of advisors kind of are not looking in the right direction. They're looking east for a sunset. And what you really need to understand is at the end of the day, in my mind, there's nothing more sinister. So listen to this. There's nothing more sinister than have powerful goals, a wonderful game plan, great vision, and you either can't get out of the bed in the morning, or you do, and by 1 o'clock you're vaporized, and you need to take a nap. Okay? So there's nothing more sinister than having goals and outcome. And look, two things. This business is not physically demanding, but it's mentally draining. Let me say that again. This business is not physically demanding, but mentally draining. So what do I mean by that? Is a lot of you spend your career on your asses, basically, which is now the new smoking. If you do any surveys or studies or research, you'll find that medical professionals, and we'll put that in quotes, sitting down is not good. Now, if you're watching the video here, you see that I've got a motorized desk, so it goes up and down, right? And I do all my work, not just videos, but my coaching work, I do all Zooms. I do it standing up. So I stand up and move 6 to 8 hours a coaching day. Okay. I recommend something similar to you if you have the opportunity. If you can cultivate and nurture and expand your physical energy, by byproduct, you'll expand your mental and emotional energies too. You cannot expand your mental and emotional energies without physical vibrancy. You can will it for a bit, but ultimately it'll fall down and fail. Okay? So getting back to my story. So, a lot of advisors will go ahead, I'm going to get smarter. I'm going to get, I need to get another designation. I need to go get a CDFA or CFA or whatever they're rolling with, right? AIF. And it doesn't really move the needle. Why? Because you can't deploy it. Why? Because you're tired. And there's all these studies on, lack of sleep and improper nutrition. And I'm going to say this, and I said this 20 years ago. You've got to view yourself as an athlete. You've got to treat your body as it matters to you. Your mind is not your economic engine. Your body is its economic engine. So if the body's not right, the engine is not functioning that well. I mean, it looks like a car that needs a tune-up. I mean, it'll still move. It'll still get you somewhere. Just don't expect high performance out of it. And in our game, high performance is economic. Let's cut to the chase on this. Why do 99% of advisors who do this, by the way, go to coaching programs, training programs to get designation, all that? Because they want to be more successful. Well, what does that mean? You want to make more money. There's nothing wrong with that. So don't hide behind it. Let's call it what it is. I've had clients lose 50 pounds, double their revenue. Didn't get one designation, didn't go ahead and get one new silver bullet marketing program. Nothing is different except they are different as a human being. So I'm going to implore you all, take your health and fitness. For some of you, you rock star this, and I applaud you. So please, number one, do not take it for granted. Number two, always be looking to make it better. But for a lot of you, and we all know about the obesity situation, we have not just in the United States but in the world, as we sit more, we eat more, we don't move as much. For some of you, this is really the conversation. Now I'm going to share something personally, which I've not talked about outside of my tribes, but I am on a mission to get hyper fit. I have a goal to coach till I'm 100. I'll be 58 this year. And I know that in order to pull that off, that I couldn't be where I was last year. So I'm on a quest to lose between 50 and 60 pounds to really get hyper fit, right? Not so I can run a marathon or do a triathlete or anything like that, just to bring more energy into my game. And so far, we're more than a third of the way there since the beginning of the year. And I can tell you that I'm a better coach, leader today than I was 90 days ago because of the energies. Okay? So physical energy, absolutely crucial. Next, mental energy. So again, that's your ability to focus. That's your ability to problem solve. That's your ability to seek solutions. And so how do you cultivate that? Limit your distractions. So if you're trying to focus on something, but you've got Outlook dinging at you and you've got TV on in the background on CNBC or whatever you've got going on, right? And you're trying to get your head right, you're not going to be able to. In addition, if you're just dieting, think about that. We talk about the body for a second, right? Physical energy. Well, mental and emotional energy is about mental inputs. So what are you putting in your brain every day? So if you're starting your day off with email, the news, and stuff like that, starting day, I'm not saying you shouldn't be informed. I'm not saying you can ignore the world. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you are on a steady diet of news and information and you wonder why you're in a bad mood, it's like eating sugar all day and you wonder why you're diabetic. I mean, A equals B, right? So I'm not saying not to eat sugar. I'm not saying not to consume the news or information. Just understand moderation is the key, right? You are not the 411 to your clients. There was a time in this industry where where a client had to call an advisor, hey, what's going on in the markets? Because the only way you found out about it was either on the news or in the Wall Street Journal the next day with symbols, right? We all know that. Some of you actually are young, you don't know that. There was a time, believe it or not, before the internet where advisors were, part of their deliverable was information. That's not really true anymore. In fact, most people have way too much information on their phone these days. So mental energy is really about the ability to focus, the ability to get projects done, the ability to problem solve, and the way you do that is limiting your mental diet and limiting distractions, okay? Now, with the basis of that I've got my physical game rock start, okay? Make sure you understand that. Now, emotional energy is a little bit different. Now, the difference between mental and emotional energy is influence. So in other words, your mental energy is about how you influence yourself. So what kind of emotional state are you in? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I sad? Am I stressed? Am I negative? Am I positive? Right? All that. You mean, is my mental state trying to get through the day, or am I driving results for the day? Right? That's our emotional states. Okay? So when you check emotional states, well, how do you go ahead? How do you positively affect your emotional states? A couple things. Number one, obviously we go back to the basic pyramid, be in top physical condition, health. Right? That's number one. What you're also inputting into your world, who you associate with, the power of associations. You know, part of the reason why I build mastermind groups for advisors is because there's an absolute gap. I don't care if you work at a firm with 50 advisors in a branch. You still feel like you're on the island. And by the way, if there's 50 people in that branch, I can tell you right now, 48 of them you probably don't want to hang with because they're negative. They're not what you want. You feel like, my God, am I the odd duck here? We collect odd ducks here inside of a network and mastermind. We love you because you're like one of us. Okay? So who you associate with, what you read, inputs, the quality of your relationships, the quality of your conversations, not with other people, but the quality of conversation with yourself. Yes, I said the word self-talk. You know, inside of Magellan Network, inside of our game, inside of our group, our tribe, we talk about our Magellan Morning 8. We have an 8-step morning ritual protocol, which I teach, which will change everything. But one of those elements is what's the conversation with yourself in the morning. That's how you master your emotional states, by being present with yourself. See, all these energies, physical, mental, and emotional, I don't want to say this is a secret, because I don't want to make it sound like that. But ultimately, if I look at the thousands of advisors I've had the privilege of working with, either directly or through trainings or through our groups and things like that, 2,500. You ask me what's the differential between somebody who succeeds and succeeds not like one time or they had a good year or a great quarter, but succeed in terms of economic abundance, time freedom, balance, happiness, fulfillment, all those, right? True success. How well do you cultivate physical, mental, and emotional energy? Because like I said, vision's great, but if you can't get there because you have no energy to get there, it's like the shiny city on the hill, right? Well, it's nice to look at from afar. I can't climb the mountain. All it's going to do is frustrate you. And for a lot of you, that is the reason why you're frustrated. It's not that your goals aren't good, or not that you don't care about your goals, or not that you don't want your goals. It's just you can't get there because you're gassed out. So make a commitment. We're going to wrap this up. Make a commitment. Not to me, not to anybody else. This really has to be about you. Expect and raise your standards to a higher level on all three domains. But start with physical energy. Because I know real quick somebody say, well, Joe, I got so much going on, I can't get to the gym. Okay, hey, walk in the morning. Go take a half hour. I'm not asking you to spend 2.5 hours in the gym banging, clanging iron. I'm not asking for that. But understand nutrition, understand rest, understand physical activity, and at least get a stand-up desk. Get something, a Varidesk, motorized, whatever. I don't care where your office is. You have two offices. You have an office and a home office. Make sure you can stand up both and be effective. It's critical, okay? So I just want to thank you all. for giving me the time to share this with you. It's something that's been on my mind for a while. And if any of this made sense, and hopefully it did, my offer, very simple, is this. We have a free program. It's called Magellan Network. There's a link here. No gotchas. Just more of this. So if you like this, you're going to love that. And there's a quick registration form, immediate access. Check it out. Have a great day. Thank you for listening and watching this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.